Man. He seems nice. The Ash Guardians have spurned all contact with the other city-states for decades. Spurned.
Where in the hells have you been hiding?
Well, he's been hiding from you, I would be assuming.
Unhand me.
Oh. Let go of Bob Dylan. Sigh. As I... Why would I read out sigh? Try as I might, I cannot shake a creeping sense of dark foreboding. But it avails us not to fret about the unknown. You must concentrate instead on the problems of the present. The primals have been relatively quiet of late, and the beast tribes who summon them are under constant surveillance by the grand companies. Should any suspicious activity be afoot, you may be certain that we will hear of it. And until such time as a permanent solution to the primal problem has been found, we can do little but wait and observe. As for the Asians, Urianger is wholly dedicated even, to finding the means by which we may defeat the dark beings. Let us pray for good tidings on that front. But all of this you knew already. Let us speak then of more current matters, in particular the state of the Crystal Braves. Alphino did well to found the organization, but ensuring its smooth operation is another matter entirely. Though I doubt not that he is doing his best, I felt that a helping hand or two would not go astray. To this end, I offered to send one of the Archons to assist him, but he declined. You know how he can be, independent to a fault, and singularly loath to accept help. Save, of course, when that help comes from you. Alphino has entrusted countless matters of import to your care in the past, and I believe he would not hesitate to do so again, were you to offer. I should be most grateful if you would go to him and support him in whatever manner you are able. I shall do so.
Hail to you, Scion. How might we serve you?
Wait. Isn't that Raiden again? Did we just get back Gaius Van Balsor's voice actor? Hell yeah.
Commander Leveilleur bade you serve us?
Dude, I recognized him instantly, damn.
These are welcome tidings indeed. Given the sensitive nature of the task, I could not rely on one of my own.
Oh, okay. It's cool to have him, like, first voice, like, the main villain of the game, and then be like, here, I'm coming back to voice one of your, like, top allies in the patches.
I tell you in the strictest confidence.
Oh, okay. Sure. Go ahead.
Some days ago, we received certain documents from an anonymous source. They notified us of the presence of a Garlean agent within the ranks of one of the grand companies.
Oh, okay.
Following some discreet inquiries, we identified a suspect among the Immortal Flames, whom we detained for questioning. Alas, the man was not our agent. He was but one of many men in the agent's employ.
Oh, so not completely off then.
We pressed the traitor for a name, but he had none to give. He claims never to have met his master, whom he knows only as the Ivy. He was, however, certain that this Ivy had coiled itself around every part of the Immortal Flames. It would seem our quarry joined the company some time ago, and gradually recruited others to his cause. These conspirators are the vines by which he learns our secrets, all without exposing himself.
Interesting.
It won't be easy to identify the Ivy amidst this tangled mass of subterfuge. But we have a tendril in our hands, and we shall follow it all the way to the gnarled root. Now, much as I would prefer to proceed with due discretion, circumstances demand that this matter be settled post-haste. Garlemald's War of Succession nears its end, and it is feared that the Empire will soon resume its march on Eorzea.
Well,
When it
crap.
does, We can ill afford to have traitors in our midst. The ivy must be rooted out now.
I agree.
We must begin by apprising General Reborn of our findings. I would ask that you accompany me to the Hall of Flames and remain on hand to see that things go smoothly.
Sure.
Assuming the ivy's tendrils are as widespread as we believe, he will be aware that an investigation is underway. And if that is the case, he may well move against us. We must be prepared for anything, while taking care not to betray our purpose by seeming prepared. A simple enough task for a one-man army like you.
Reborn.
Well, what brings you here, my friend?
Troubled tidings. And this
He
guy.
is here at my behest. Greetings, Reborn. It has been a while.
Hilbert, you old scoundrel. When they told me you'd be visiting, I scarce believed my
Oh,
ears.
they know each other. Okay.
But look at you. The honored captain of the Crystal Bloody Braves. Who'd have imagined, eh?
Not many, but fewer still would have imagined your destiny lay in politics, old friend.
Aye. We've both come far, have we not? Lest you wonder, Hilbert and I go back a long way.
I assumed as
We've
much,
been
yeah.
friends and rivals since we were lads.
There you go. Since they were
The last
kids,
time we
damn.
saw each other, Alamigo had just fallen, so you can guess how many summers it's
Oh.
been. And in all that time, not a word from the fool.
Oh, he's from Alamigo as well. That makes so much sense.
Ah, well, my dealings tended toward the modest and mundane, unlike some I could mention. As I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanalan than the brass blades clapped you in irons and dragged you off to die on the blood sands. Being a stubborn sort, you won 1,000 matches and earned yourself a place in the people's hearts while you were about it.
Sounds about right.
Then, with your mountain of prize money, you bought the Colosseum and secured a seat on the Syndicate. Those balls, brother!
That's genius.
Rags to riches does not do it justice. You're a hero to the common man.
Bah, spare me. I am no hero. If anyone is worthy of that title, it's our friend here. Next to him, I'm little more than a glorified butcher.
I guess
But
we're just
you,
three
Hilbert,
Alamigan
you
boys.
sell yourself short. By all accounts, you were an adventurer of some standing.
I like to think that I did my part for the greater good. But if you're no hero, then I'm no adventurer, not in this company. Anyway. I have tidings.
Do tell.
So there has been progress. I've let it be known that this meeting is a reunion between old friends. None will give your visit a second thought.
Smart. Very smart.
To convene elsewhere would only attract attention. Let us speak here, in plain view of all.
Oh, I'm not privy to this information.
So it is we who have been compromised. Teleji Adeleji's machinations have shaken Ul'dah to her foundations.
Yep.
In such uncertain times, a man's loyalty may be bought for a fistful of gil. But if this snake has truly been in our midst for as long as you say, we must needs consider a far graver possibility. Conspiracy.
Invasion. Oh, okay.
Could it be that the monitorists have been in league with the Empire from the first? Very well.
Huh.
I will have my most trusted men investigate the matter. Continue your inquiries in the meantime.
Could they be backed by the Empire?
It does me well
That's
to
an
see you
interesting
again,
idea.
old friend. When next we meet, let it be over a flagon of ale.
I look forward to it. Let us reminisce of bygone days, and drink to the future of our homeland.
That's what, his right hand?
Flame General. You wear the mantle well, old friend. I must work hard if I'm to keep up.
He's done well for
Well,
himself.
It would seem your services were not required after all. I dare say we have Roban's prudence to thank for that. Still, I was glad of your presence. My thanks, Scion.
No worries. We are returned from Uldar, Commander. And not a moment too soon, something has happened. Trouble? You will recall the 4th was tasked with reconnoitering the rendezvous site used by the Ivy's minions and his Imperial contacts. Soon after you left, we received word that the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. Gods damn it. According to the report, one of ours has been taken captive. The Guardians are not wont to treat foemen with dignity, and I have grave fears for her safety. We must dispatch a rescue party at once. Recall those braves who are afield. Begging your pardons, Commander, but we have not the time. I'm afraid I must ask you to aid me once more, Scion. An ill-prepared rescue party will only serve to provide the Guardians with more captives, yet time is of the essence. Simply put, you are the best chance we have. Captain Ilberd has the right of it. I trust you're willing, but of course you are. Now, Alien of the 4th lies in wait in the Tangle, near the entrance to Castrum Sentry. Seek her out and she will appraise you of the situation. Where am I? Resh, thank the gods we found you. Thank you, Warrior of Light. Now to quit this accursed place. Resh cannot move with those wounds. She will need to be carried out. I believe a diversion is in order. Might we trouble you to provide one? Given your reputation, I suspect the Guardians will only be too happy to grant you their undivided attention. If you were to create a commotion within the castrum, we should be able to steal away unnoticed. Let us speak again once we're safely outside these walls. It does me well to see you thus returned, though I doubt not your prowess. Entering an enemy stronghold is generally considered to be a risky venture, and I must confess to have been a trifle anxious. But here you are, hale and whole, having succeeded in your mission as it is your wont. Lest you wonder, the woman you rescued is being cared for by the Domans. Thanks to the expert ministrations, the danger is past. You have my gratitude, Chrane. Allow me to thank you also, Scion. Resh owes you her life. We escaped with minimal casualties this time, but we can ill afford to be caught off guard again. The Empire is not an opponent to be trifled with. As you say, Commander. I will see to it that the men keep their wits about them. And it may yet take time, but I will not rest until we have identified and apprehended the Ivy. I have every confidence that you will succeed, Captain. As for you, Chrane, I realize you have scarce caught your breath, but I'm afraid there is no rest for the weary. I require that you accompany me to Coerthas. I have been granted an audience with an Ishgardian dignitary, you see, and the man expressly requested your presence. Oh, do not look so surprised. You should be familiar with the trappings of fame by now. We shall depart as soon as you're ready. Antecedent, I take it Chrane has explained the situation. He has, yet welcome though these overtures are, I cannot help but wonder what prompted them. The Ishgardians have spurned all contact with the other city-states for decades. Why reach out now? Maybe because their elf pope has 2 Asians whispering in his ear? I don't know. Crazy idea. Would that I knew. The question of their motives is one to which I have given no small amount of thought. Alas, I know more than is generally known. Map time. The notoriously reclusive nation of Ishgard, situated at the center of Abalathia's spine, ruled by the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, at the head of which presides the Archbishop. That's the Pope, okay. It has to be. Members of the original Eosian alliance formed in the wake of Alamigo's fall some 2 decades ago. Friends of convenience who withdrew from the alliance as soon as the Imperial fleet was routed at the Battle of Silvertear Skies. Silvertear? Since which time their borders have remained closed to all outsiders. They have rejected every one of their former allies' call to reopen dialogue, turning a deaf ear to their neighbors' pleas even when the calamity loomed large. And on the fields of Carteneau, where brave men and women laid down their lives in defense of the realm, their banners were conspicuously absent. Ah, I see. So they weren't even at Carteneau. I have tried to convince Ishgard to rejoin the alliance at every opportunity. I have explained over and over again that unless Eosia stands united, we cannot hope to persevere our freedom. One by one, our nations will fall as once fell Alamigo. And what have mine efforts yielded? Why not? Surely this can be considered a step in the right direction. I should hope so, rather than the lowly messengers we have been fobbed off with in the past. This time we shall meet with a man of genuine influence. Of course, I'm not so naive as to think they come to us out of the goodness of their hearts. We have something they desire, though I have yet to find out what. Is it me? Are they, like... Have they heard that I'm a warrior of light, and since the Archbishop has Asians whispering in his ear, they're like, yo, you should get your hands on that warrior of light, so we can destroy him. But such is the nature of diplomacy. They will bring their agenda to the negotiation table, and so will I, along with a handful of incontrovertible truths. The Empire will soon be at our doorstep once more. Indeed, you may be assured that I will expound upon this point and others. Let us depart for Camp Dragonhead, Chrane. Our old friend Lord Orchefant is expecting us. Hell yeah. My buddy. Since our quest to recover the Enterprise, I understand you have further ingratiated yourself with the man. Excellent work. His fondness may prove useful to our cause. Hopefully, yeah. I think it's fun to show up as a dragoon every time I go here. Ah, Chrane, ever a welcome sight. Our hearths have been stoked to blazing in preparation for your arrival. It would not do for such a distinguished personage to catch cold whilst enjoying our hospitality. The gesture is much appreciated. I fear I shall ever struggle in cold climes. Ah, good Master Alphino, an honor as always. Likewise, Lord Orchefant. Forgive us yet another imposition. I fear we have relied overmuch on your aid since you so generously assisted us in locating the Enterprise. Nonsense. Any debts incurred have long since been repaid. Besides, who can say what the future may bring? House Fortomp may ever seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. In any case, I am simply delighted that the Holy See is at last willing to grant you an audience. No doubt your discoveries at Snowcloak helped to justify the decision. This recent resurgence in heretical activity is of grave concern to us all. There's a fly sitting on one of my monitors. It's distracting me. But to the matter at hand, Sir Améric, Sir Aymeric arrived in Camp Dragonhead earlier, and I'm told he is eager to meet with you at your first convenience. You are doubtless weary from your journey and desirous to rest a while by the warmth of our hearth. But if you are willing to forego such comforts, pray inform the night station outside the intercessory. He will grant you entrance and send word to the other attendees. As inviting as your heart sounds, I think it best we proceed to the intercessory forthwith. I agree. Thought there was supposed to be someone here. An ambush.
Have faith, my friend. You need only state your case with confidence and clarity.
Okay.
Commander Leveilleur, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I am Aymeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
So just like a regular Aymeric.
Alphino Leveilleur, at your service. Your reputation precedes you, Sir Aymeric. I think we will find that we have much in common.
Speaking of reputations, yours towers over us all. Does it not?
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
Did they just start bringing in new voice actors that are just way better than the rest?
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination. Full glad was I to learn that you would be joining us.
Okay. I did not expect this from Ishgard.
Shall we begin?
Absolutely.
We know full well that the Garleans will return in force ere long. What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the Primal Menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last.
True.
Ishgard is not immune to these threats. I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean Alliance.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
Really?
On what grounds?
Despite their presence in Coerthas, the Ixal do not concern us. The territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry. Consequently, the Holy See judges this to be a Gridanian affair, and Ishgard does not intervene in the internal affairs of other nations.
Okay.
Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not
Right,
the
you're
knights
busy just fighting
to spare.
dragons.
As for the Garleans, we are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Okay, good.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Mayhap one day, but not yet.
Okay.
Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight.
Sure.
We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, but if Ishgard's position has not changed, why did you agree to this meeting?
That's what I want to know.
It was not only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Okay.
Pardon?
It is not within my power to change Ishgardian policy, regardless of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure.
So he doesn't really fully agree with their stance on this stuff, okay?
Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Forton has offered to Revenant's Toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers. I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
My man.
Sir Emmerich,
Thank you for that.
we would be in your debt.
No, you would not. For I require something in exchange.
Of course you do. Dude's a diplomat, after all.
Of late, there has been a flurry of Dravanian activity, the purpose of which was not immediately clear. However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens. The dragon star waxes unnaturally bright, and there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of Midgard-Sorma.
The fallen guardian of Silvertear Falls?
The Midgard serpent is coming back? Jormungandr himself?
Times have I gazed upon the dragon's corpse still wound around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived to plague the skies. I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say. As I told you before, we have not the forces to spare.
But we do. So you will
There
intervene
you
on
go.
our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
Do you accept these terms?
Sounds fair to me. I think we can do that.
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments.
Yeah.
I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal.
Exactly, baby
Mayhap
steps.
one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
Mayhap we shall, Commander.
Commander, damn. I guess that is his title now.
What is the meaning of this?
The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked.
What?
It was Iceheart, my lord.
The caravan headed for the Scions?
By the Fury! All our precautions were for naught?
Oh, Chiffon is pissed. My sincerest apologies for the interruption, my friends, but the situation is such that we must act swiftly. If you would be so kind as to elaborate. Iceheart's heretics fell upon the caravan bound for Revenant's Toll as it was passing through Boulder Downs. 'Twas an ambush, swift and ruthless. In an instant, every knight was slain. Every crate ceased. Then, as quickly as they appeared, they were gone. 'Twould be impossible feat without knowledge of the route. Knowledge to which only a select few are privy, I presume. Quite. We can pursue that avenue of inquiry in due course. It seems to me that examining the scene of the ambush should be our first concern. The trail is yet warm. We must act swiftly, as Lord Orchefon said, lest crucial evidence be lost. You have a knack for discerning hidden truths, Chrane. Why don't you go and inspect the ambush site in person? An excellent idea. I inform my men of your intent upon arrival, and they will gladly share their findings. Ah, you've returned. What news have you for us? It seems Lady Iceheart does not scruple to sully her hands with blood. Who is this Shiva the heretic spoke of? Have you not read a single line of the Enchiridion, Master Alphino? Shiva was a traitor to kith and kin, an apostate who lay down with dragons. Now, we cannot expect all foreigners to know Ishgardian scripture so well, particularly when it concerns the patron saints of heretics. Wait, you say she's their patron saint? Oh no, it all makes sense now. Lord Oshifon, what was the caravan's cargo? If I recall correctly, the Diamond Forge had requested a rather large quantity of crystals. There it is. Do you not see? Iceheart and her followers intend to summon Shiva as a beast tribe with a primal. Why else would they go to such lengths to secure crystals? I shall inform the Lord Commander at once. Lord Oshifon, you would agree that discretion is of paramount concern? Of course. I trust we can count on your continued support, Master Alfino. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to combat the primal threat. Our support is a given. I will need to send word to my brethren in Revenant's Toll. Our entire order must turn its efforts to the prevention of this summoning. Naturally, that includes you, though I am sure you would not miss this for the world. Good to see you again, Drillmont. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn wish to join in the hunt for Iceheart. Your assistance is more than welcome, my friends. Considering the report I just received, I dare say your timing could be no better. We're all ears, Lord Drillmont. A band of pilgrims was seen transporting a large number of crates to the west. Their garb appears to match the description provided by the squire who survived the attack. Ugh, my hiccups again. Alas, our scouts lost track of them at Snowcloak, the self-same frozen wall which we speculated might conceal the heretics' hideaway. Suffice it to say, the disappearance of these pilgrims and their provisions all but confirms our suspicions. I have heard enough. My knights will join the hunt. I took the liberty of summoning a unit of Crystal Braves to wipe in front. Given the gravity of the situation, I trust you will agree that we must use every resource available to us. These are extraordinary circumstances, Commander. It would be in our best interests to coordinate our efforts. Such was my intent from the start, Sir Emmerich. And so it begins, my friend. Though I dare say will prove an all too brief collaboration, Iceheart will not elude the combined forces of the Crystal Braves and the Temple Knights for long. Nevertheless, a wise man does not wager all upon the succession of a single solution. There may yet be subtler means by which we can locate the heretic's lair. Mayhap Lord Drillmont has one in mind. What is this? Are these heretics I see? Looks like they're all Elysian. Yes, excellent. There she is again. I guess that's Iceheart then. My lady, everything has been accounted for. If there is aught else you would have us do, pray speak, and it shall be done. Got my eye on you, heretic. Come on, heretic. Hey, where in the seven hells are you? I'm freezing my bollocks off here. I'm here, you blundering oaf. Why are you late? Standing on the wall. Why else? I have duties to fulfill, you know. Your sole duties to the... Bloody echo. Lower your voice so they'll hear us in Whitebrim front. Yes, of course. The Temple Knights are... in Snowcloak. This is what you bring to me? We already knew about... Our comrades in Boulder Downs will use the tunnels... Dead before they know what's happening. Nevertheless, if you waste my time again, is that clear? So I found this. By the Fury, those were veterans with years of experience. And now they're dead. And now they lie dead in the snow. Their bodies must be recovered and... No. We have not the men to spare, not now, not while Iceheart prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics you dispatch were not sufficient numbers to contend with the combined strength of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves. There must be others, and I'll wager they are on their way to Snowcloak as we speak. To make matters worse, it seems the traders you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value after all. The parchment you recovered is a timetable of the guardsmen watches at our outpost in Snowcloak. The trader was stationed there long before he aroused our suspicion that we had caught him sooner. With this information, the heretics would know when the watch was weakest. They could use their tunnels with impunity and prepare their ambush. This timetable has not changed, you see. Of course, it will change now, but the heretics may already be in position. House Durandare must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing knights from the Stone Vigil. I can see no other way to safeguard the lives of our allies. Snowcloak, huh? So where's the opening? It must be here, I'm certain of it. Why else would they go such lengths to defend Snowcloak? 'Tis but a pity this discovery comes when our enemy has us at such a disadvantage. Forewarned though we be, the heretics know the terrain far better than we. I dare not think of how many are watching us at this very moment. That is a terrifying thought, yeah. Confound it, this is all wrong. Iceheart has us scrambling to save our own skins, when we should rightly be straining every sinew to find her. And stop this damnable summoning. There she is. Come here, girl. What? Oh. Hi? Where did you come from? That was close. They didn't hurt you, did they? Damn fly. Only my pride, Ida. There will be others nearby. We must see that they are given similar warm welcome. Did they call Alphino she? Come on, the Levier. There's been a development, sir. Together with the Temple Knights, we have secured the entrance to some half-dozen tunnels. After spotting the enemy breaking the surface, but that is not all, sir. We think that one of them may be important. Certainly the heretics near flung themselves upon our swords to defend it. Aha! Just as I suspected. Amongst this warren of tunnels lies the entrance to Iceheart's lair. Summon the others. We're going in. A moment, Alphino. The tunnel in question is barely wide enough for 2 men abreast. We cannot say with any certainty where it leads, much less what is waiting for us there. Furthermore, we have no way of knowing how many heretics are still lurking here on the surface. What if they know to converge on this point after we enter the tunnel? For all we know, they could be funneling our forces into a trap. He's got a point. I take your point. If the tunnel is indeed as narrow as you say, greater numbers would be more a hindrance than a help. Should we encounter difficulty, our own allies would become an obstacle to escape. A change of plans. While we rendezvous with Sir Emmerich and keep the heretics at bay here, you will go wherever that tunnel leads. If you find Iceheart at the end of it, do not let her escape. You venture into the unknown, so see that you are prepared for anything. I suggest you call upon your allies, though not too many, or Papalimo will sulk. It's a cool idea to fight Fenrir. There's a lot of Norse stuff in this story overall. I like that a lot. It's very cool. Didn't expect Fenrir. Oh, cutscene.
Their tales do not do you justice, warrior of light.
Really now? Is that so?
Yes. I know who you are, and you know who I am.
Iceheart.
I was given the name Izel.
Izel,
but I
okay.
earned the name Iceheart.
Izel.
This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light.
So distracting that I'm jumping back.
I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost.
And how do you intend to do that, exactly?
In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good. For Eorzea, for Hydaelyn.
Okay. Weird that she would name drop Hydaelyn. Why am I just letting her go? Hello? Why am I letting her go? Why am I letting her go? Why didn't I stop her? Hello? Some Philia? She's wearing a coat. Incredible. Antecedent, you come to us straight from the archives of House Fortom. I trust your time there proved fruitful. Would that it had. Huriange and I scoured countless texts, but what we found was of questionable veracity. Accounts of Shiva's life and deeds are sparse and contradictory, only agreeing upon one point. She lay down with the dragon, the gravest of all sins according to the Ishgardian faith. Yet in the eyes of Iceheart's followers, this was a holy act, the blessed union of man and dragon. How such a thing could even be possible is quite another question, suffice it to say. I very much doubt that we will find a useful answer in the archives of House Fortom. Much knowledge has been lost over the centuries, though in this case one wonders if it is by circumstance or design. You said that Iceheart took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, did you not? Kind of, yeah. Viewed without prejudice, most would agree that bringing an end to an endless war serves the greater good. I think Sir Emeric might take issue with her methods. I would think so too, yeah. I do not care if a few stragglers manage to escape until the sappers confirm that the tunnel is safe. The men are not to search it. Yes, Lord Commander. You pursue your foes with less zeal than I had expected, Sir Emeric. Lest you misunderstand, I do not deny that our enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant, you being a man of faith, that I had expected a certain single-mindedness. After all, was it not by the will of Halone that your ancestors came to this land? Why they took up arms against the Dravanians? What would they have done in your position, I wonder? There are those who believe that faith is a renunciation of free will. That unquestioning devotion is required of all who would live a life in service to the Fury. Such righteous fervor may well serve a knight on the front line, less so a leader of men. We're all at liberty to interpret the scriptures as we will. I choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of her followers over the deaths of her enemies. But I would not presume to speak for the Knights of Eld. 'Twas a different time, nay, a different era, and Scripture tells us only so much. Would that it told us more. It's an interesting perspective. That man is awfully pragmatic for a servant of the Holy See. A welcome trait at the negotiation table, to be sure, less so when one's enemies are making ready to harness the power of a god. Mayhap he does not truly believe that Iceheart's plan will succeed. Truth be told, I too remain somewhat skeptical. Shiva was real, a living, breathing woman. Of that there can be no doubt. In this respect, she differs from every other figure to have been summoned, each of whom was worshipped as a god. Except if the actual King Moggelmog the 12th, forever praised be his name, we don't know if he was real though, do we? Like, he could have been a real Moogle back in the day, for all we know. Unless I'm just supposed to take that entire encounter as just a joke thing that doesn't matter, because it's so weird. The sole exception being good King Moggelmog the 12th, the myth made manifest in response to the fervent supplication of the Moggles Guard. That's foresight. That's incredible. Saint Shiva may differ, but what of the heretics? They are a tribe of outcasts at war with a mighty nation, who yearn for the resurrection of one who embodies their beliefs. If that is not placing one's faith in a higher power, then what is? Crystals and conviction, Menphilia, they have them both in abundance. True, they do. Alphino, sir. Can that truly be all that is required? My survey team has concluded a preliminary analysis of the Aetheryte Iceheart used to escape. They believe that she teleported to another Aetheryte, somewhere not far to the west. Despite the apparent proximity of this second Aetheryte, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly, unless Iceheart has some means to mask its signal. I can only presume she had it destroyed to prevent us from following her. Without the means to teleport as she did, we have no choice but to search for an alternate route, most likely a tunnel, assuming one exists. Let us not give up on teleportation just yet. One of our colleagues in Charlian may be able to assist us. I pray that you're right. I dare not think how long it will take us to survey the entire tunnel system. While Menphilia looks into our Aetheryte problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. The third unit is currently tracking the remnants of the heretic force which attacked us. However, the search goes poorly despite our numbers. Coerthas is vast, and Iceheart's followers know the terrain far better than we. Your knowledge of this region may serve to hasten the process. The sooner we capture Iceheart's followers, the sooner we can press them for their leader's whereabouts. Also, though it is admittedly a selfish request, I feel that my braves would benefit immensely from working alongside you. While we have our share of veterans, we also have more than a few less experienced recruits, many of whom look up to you, in case you were not aware. Sure. I feel like that's my character's response to everything. Everyone just piles stuff on top of him, like, do this, do that. Oh, I think you're strong enough to do this very unreasonable thing I'm asking you to do. My character's like, and that's it. Like, he nods, forever a slave to his own success. It's terrible. Good, I knew you would understand. Yuhase can appraise you of the details. When the task is complete, come find me at the observatorium. Captain Ilberd and I are meeting there to discuss the latest developments in his investigation. The Temple Knights shall hold Snowcloak in our absence. Let us leave them to their work. Ours is more pressing. I'm through with listening to your excuses. We leave now.
How? The woods are crawling with those bluecoats, and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates.
Hi. Well, stay with him then. You think you'll fare any better?
Now, there's no need for that.
Oh, Yugiri. There are places like this in my homeland, sacred snow-capped peaks, where blood must not be shed. Yet your lands ever thirst for the blood of the fallen, and by your deeds it has drunk deep. Did not expect to see Yugiri up here. What was his voice? No, I've done nothing.
No, I've done nothing wrong.
None, but meet in secret with heretics. Deny it all you will. We shall have the truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. Damn it all! What losers. Fancy meeting you here, Chrane. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither? Yes, they assaulted the Lalafell, Yu Hase, and then I followed it here. I followed the trail. That is right, Alfino. What a tangled web. Lest you wonder, we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favorite Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Yugiri and her shinobi, we would never have discovered this connection. Master Alfinod is too kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for the spy. She's so humble, man. I like every single thing her character has been involved with so far in the game. I've enjoyed. And I enjoy her character a great deal as well, so far she's great. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land, to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from reoccurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a Sorry. Sorry about that. Will require a very particular set of skills. Liam Neeson enters. Skills which I am fortunate enough to possess. Oh, she is Liam Neeson. Damn. If you will allow it, I would accompany you until the investigation is complete. Nice. That is a most generous offer, Lady Yugiri. One which I gladly accept. Thank you. Though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far and shall always be watching. She's not only a good character, she's cool as well. A comforting thought. Come, Chrane, let us wait inside for Captain Ilberd to return after and deliver his reports. Captain Ilberd, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us naught, and we did not already know of Shiva. We did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Ishgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Damn hiccups. Our inquiries are concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquire their information on the shipment routes. Go on. You will recall the flame we first identified as being in the Ivy's employ. From him we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary steps to detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Fortam. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved at least, but what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to pricing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider then that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among Raban's innermost circle? Someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames' establishment? 'Tis the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. I am going to guess right now that it's the Ellison woman he was talking to after he reunited with Ilberd. Because I had never seen her before, but right after these two were talking, like, and their main thing is like, yo, shit's going down, and they're like talking to each other about it, and then she shows up out of nowhere, and he's like, like he's very buddy with her. I think she's the Ivy, and I think they are imagining it's a man that they're looking for, while in reality it's a woman. That is my guess. We'll see. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. The groundwork for the act being laid beforehand, yep. To slip into a position of authority unremarked and remain above suspicion all these years. I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of the three grand companies, Ul'dah was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. That makes sense, yep. Absolutely. Both Limsa and Gridania had long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of Twin Adders. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mined under the same leadership. Only the banner was different. Not so for the Flames. Ul'dah's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. These difficulties Raban faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed, and given the pressing nature oh god. And given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that means recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier then than now, aye. The Immortal Flames have been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monetarists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, it was not out of charity that they did so, but simple self-preservation. Had Niall Van Darnus' ambition been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Raban with an army. 'Tis but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Who is Niall Van Darnus? He sounds like... The name sounds like an Imperial, but like... I'm not sure which one he is. Is he the Emperor? In the past, because returning to the present. Even as we speak, our Dome and allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, have the second attend to the unrest, the third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Emmerich informing him of our success in identifying the heretics better. Hopefully the information shall be of some use to the Ishgardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Chrane, as the realm's stoutest champion. 'Tis only meet that you be present for the discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. There she is. Yes. I think it's her.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
Do tell. What's up in Garlemald?
The rumors are true then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
That can't be good.
Who?
Guess the old one lost.
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed
Am I actually gonna get to see like the main bad guy now?
Of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign.
Interesting crest.
Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
How very unfortunate. I'm sure there was no foul play involved.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Oh, okay. Man. He seems nice. He looks like an old
Would that the
Arthas.
Garlean Empire had died with him.
If only, right? So we're fighting Arthas now. Okay. Arthas van Menethil. That's a scary looking dude.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Ye Galvus is a respected military leader. Not so his
Varus Ye Galvus. So Varus. Okay.
So young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Well, there you go. It's a lot of soldiers. He's scary looking. Will he speak? We have not yet cast an actor. Okay.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
That's not good. That bodes ill for us.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions.
Yep.
But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again.
She's just hanging out in the background. It has to be her. I'm so sure.
When, not if.
She has to be the Ivy.
They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Really?
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all.
I would say so, yeah.
I propose that we set aside the Cartano dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald.
Oh boy.
Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it. If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the Ivy eludes our grasp, no...
Yeah, she just left the meeting, dude. I'm so sure of it. Has to be her. They planted so many seeds that to it being her. It has to be. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than the Flame Marshal Eileen Roy. Rabon's second... Fucking... I called it. I called that shit so hard. Yep. Prior to joining the Immortal Flames, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with the polearm had to be seen to be believed, so she's a lancer, okay. Of Ishgardian birth, she's the highest ranking foreigner in the Immortal Flames. Barring the Flame General himself, of course, so she might be a dragoon, even. Probably just a lancer, though. I think it would have mentioned her being a dragoon if that was the case. When he formed the Grand Company, Rabon chose people based on their worth. Whence they hailed was of no interest. The monetarists saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And it was no secret they did not favor the foreigners. Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the Alliance. Yet the monetarists did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Roe, I guess, let's say Roe, when Roe was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the Ivy has some hold over the monetarists? Oh. Scary. So close. But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Roy's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the Immortal Flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Rabon attended the Council of Alliance Leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless. On some pretense she's up to something, mark my words. I don't know about the last point though, because she was in the meeting with Rabon, so he knew that she was here. So that might just be him being like, I need you to come with me, blah 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 blah. Like, we don't know about that part, but otherwise, yes, I'm sure it's her. Even as we speak, I have dozens of men trawling the Flames' records for evidence of Roy's guilt. But if we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely upon your eyes, Scion? Absolutely. You have my thanks. Let us go then, and take care not to alert our quarry. She's not on the airship landing, so what do we do now? Nowhere to be seen, you say, and you're sure she did not board an airship? She did not come back out either. Where in the seven hells could she have gone? The roost, how could I forget? What do you mean?
Greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some Muntoy tonic? A cup a day imbues a man with great vigor, if you take my meaning.
Perhaps another time, friend. Wait, that necklace. You're a shinobi of Doma.
The woman you seek has left Gridania by way of a West Shore pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows.
Yugiri and her people, man. The goats. That's great. Thank the 12 of the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Roe would have disappeared without a trace. This way, my friends. You can barely see her. She's so cool. Your quarry makes for the Hawthorn Hut. If Roe is truly the one we seek, we can expect that she means to make contact with her Garlean masters there. An explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware that the Garleans have their own method of communicating over great distances. Well, our ingenious friends at Garland Ironworks, my boys, have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications. We have installed them around the city-states. In doing so, we have made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Roe would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet, as a well-known face in the Immortal Flames, she cannot move about Danalan without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. It is for this reason I believe that she has come to the Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. The Elysian are a common sight here, and her comings and goings are not like to turn any heads. As my scouts tell it, the Garleans have sent agents with a mind to destroy the devices and render such direct contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We need only make for Hawthorn's hut and catch Roe in the act. Just beyond, Roe is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer, an Imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it, with me. Let's go. Let's go. The gang. Uh-oh. Stinky. Flame Marshal Aelin Roy. Whatever, you are under arrest for treason and espionage.
You were followed, you bloody fool.
Really? You think she's gonna let that happen?
Damnation!
More shinobi. They are so cool. You're surrounded. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely garbed for battle, but if you wish to fight, you're welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood when last I looked there was no crime, and neither was conversing with the passing strangers? Do you think we're dumb? What is that defense? That's, I mean, technically that's literally her only card, except for, you know, giving up, but still, that's so dumb. You would feign ignorance then? Very well. If you do think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. Likely story. What was that look? That was not just a look of she's pissed, like there was something there. That's a chocobo carriage. Is that Iceheart? No. The clothing was very similar.
Minfilia, am I right?
Voice
None
acting,
other.
how pleasant.
I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
He has a fan.
Moonbreeder is an accomplished Charlian scholar
Moonbreeder.
and an authority on aetherite technologies.
That's very useful
She
for
has
us.
played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Great.
Charmed, I'm sure.
I mean, dude, you'll be very useful for this.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Moon!
Oh, longer, sister.
So she knows, what, everyone here? Except for Benfilia?
A joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
Striking resemblance.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
There you go. I think that's the first time I've agreed with Papalimo.
Everyone, if I could have your attention.
Like, I'm sure this is gonna start some heated conversation, but Papalimo's probably the scion I care about the least so far. He's been doing nothing but being a sassy little boy. And he's always like, well, Ida, you are doing this poorly and this poorly. When, like, she's obviously younger than everyone else and just is she's trying her best. And he's like, Ida, you're so stupid. And then they sat on the information of Ramu, like, being a possible threat because they knew they were funneling crystals and stuff. And yet, he, who is supposedly so smart, did not see, like, oh, maybe I should take it into my own hands and actually report that there might be a summoning of Ramu in the future. But he didn't do that. But he keeps pestering poor Ida about everything, but he hasn't really done anything too useful either so far. So far he's the lowest one for me. Thancred is still probably my favorite of the scions. Everyone else would be very hard to rank. I like all of them, to be fair. But that's where my head is right now. Just thought I should update you guys.
We
If I ever
have
put
with us
this-
an esteemed guest
if I ever
who has
put
come
this
from
stuff out.
Charlian to assist us. I bid Moonbreeder join us here that she might share with us her
Moonbreeder.
extensive knowledge of aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite.
Oh,
a sample of
it
which
has a
she has
name,
been
okay.
good enough to bring with her.
White auracite.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose
Bloody
up at a chance like
daft.
this. Where better to conduct
She's
my
Elizabeth
final
Swan.
tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits.
Expected him to show up.
and nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
She seemed like a fan, so he probably knows about it. Oh!
Oriange, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Well, he's been hiding from you, I would be assuming.
Unhand me.
Oh. Let go of Bob Dylan.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me. I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Oriange.
Go on.
Go on. Oh, he's horrified.
Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit.
It's too late now, man.
Mine intent, as well thou knowest,
Uh-huh.
was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compose
I ship
thine
it.
aid.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great pair.
You still haven't found it, then? You're missing Aetherite.
No.
We have not. No. We know that Iceheart teleported to an Aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate the second beacon.
I love that Moonbrita showed up 5 minutes ago and has stirred the pot so much. In such a short time. That's great. What a fantastic way to introduce a new character. She's really fun so far.
We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second Aetherite to impede our pursuit.
Likely.
Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
Saint Shiva?
I'm sorry, but if the Aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that.
Well, there's nothing
Although,
remaining.
You're absolutely sure she used the first Aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the Aetherite.
But she could have just used teleportation magics next to the Aetherites, right?
In that case, there might be a way.
Okay.
So long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Okay. I guess it is 100% certain.
How?
To be fair, I don't know how this magic
we use
works.
the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, Aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction, and our essence would dissipate.
Oh, so it's kind of like beaming in Star Trek?
However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination.
I don't know much about Star Trek,
Now,
so I might be
these
completely
currents
wrong.
will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an Aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
Sure.
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
It does, yeah. I have faith in all of you, though. I'm sure we'll figure it out.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have white aura sight at their disposal.
Okay, but you don't have to sound that excited about
all
death.
the ether you can give me into the Aetherite. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand.
Okay.
Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Great.
Though it risked the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options.
It's true.
If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moonbreeder's plan.
Yeah, it's the best plan we have.
That's the spirit. Let's roll the dice.
See where it might fall. Let's see what we got here. Yep. That's it. I am Mary Angie, I will begin this thing with light. I will empower it. There, it's ready. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Beware my power, the Green Lantern's light. I'm sure I missed something, one line or something in there, but still. Huh, it worked, I think. Great. Try attuning to the Aetheryte now. Feel for the curtain and try to locate the beacon. Alright. We have done all we can, Chrane. For now, let us withdraw. Okay. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon we have created. If, by the grace of the 12, you arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. Alright. Bye. Iceheart, we meet again.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
Did she just turn into Shiva? I didn't think primals work like that. That is a very revealing outfit, miss. Guess we're going for it then. So what is her deal? Oh, the ice, okay, I was not fast enough on that one. That's my bad. Okay. This should do, yeah. Okay. So a lot of AoEs. That's cool. And it spawns hats, of course it does. Okay. Take care of those. Oh nice, you lift them up. Sick. Whoa. That went a lot better. Okay. Oh. Embrace the serenity. Renounce the hatreds that consume. And scatter them like dust in the wind. That was so cool. Oh, I'm in the AoE. What a change up in music. This is awesome. Ooh. Mechanically, this might be my favorite primal fight so far. Just not just mechanically, but like aesthetically and everything as well. Like this is a real cool design for fights. Customs. Okay, couldn't go off the edge. But I guess I got too close to the edge. We won. Doesn't matter. Got paid. Still very curious as to how this works. She does get returned to her old form. Okay. Very interesting. Some answers, please, if you will. So she's still alive. The process doesn't kill you? Or is she dying now?
Fool.
Okay.
Blind, bloody fool.
What'd I do?
You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous
That's what
cause.
everyone says, though. That's what everyone says.
You fight in a war you do not understand.
That is true.
A pawn of liars and schemers.
That is most likely also true.
And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why.
That's probably also true.
Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth. Warrior of light, redemption is not beyond us.
Us?
We who walk before may lead those who walk after.
Elaborate.
Seek the keeper of the lake. See with eyes unclouded. Do not squander Mother's gift.
Why would she call her mother? No way. Does she too have the echo? Is there a third one? Well, technically a fourth, but the Sahagin died, so is there a third one? That's awesome. I hope that's not the last we see of her. I mean, I would assume there's more after that giant hint.
And so the vessel withdraws. A predictable outcome.
A predictable outcome.
Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased.
And which one are you, Sideburns?
How unfortunate.
How unfortunate.
Sideburns. The Council of Homies. We're back. There he is, and none the worse for wear. Was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? I think I speak for us all when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Yes, I was teleported to an ice fortress, and she turned into a primal. Which is new, I'm sure. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. But not too late to prevent further loss of life, an outcome worthy of celebration, and one for which we have Chrane to thank. Yes, you're right, of course, Sir Emmerich. We should be content with what we have accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. Rooted. Aye, there is the matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, moons, or even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Drillmont, is the caravan ready? The supplies that your men recovered have been prepared for transport, in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenant's Toll. Of that I have no doubt. I take these are the self-same supplies the heretics stole from the House Fortump caravan. Less the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of that which was compromised, or promised. But a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. On an unrelated note, Chrane, might I trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? 'Tis not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I'm told. I swear, Arshafon is my best friend. Men give vent to their anxieties in myriad ways. Pray do not think less of him. Well now. What were you thinking, Chrane? Wagering your very being on a dubious theory that which might allow you to enter Iceheart's lair? Oh, my eye, sorry. Knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva anyway. And then engaging the abomination in mortal combat. So stupid. By the fury, Chrane, 'tis the stuff of ballads. A battle for the ages, would that I had been there to fight by your side. Now that is dream content. Yet, here I was, forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But here you are now, and that is truly what matters. Let us move on. Sir Emmerich wished to have words with you and Master Alphino in private. He awaits us in the intercessory.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task.
Well, well.
From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
So?
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Natalan.
Nay.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy.
Well.
You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not.
Exactly, because you close yourself off to the world.
And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
What a concept that closing yourself off from the world might hinder you from learning what's happening on the outside. What an insane thing. I don't blame Emmerich, by the way. I don't blame Emmerich. Like, he's just doing his job. He's not the one who made all these decisions, and it feels like he's the one who's actually, like, trying to open up a conversation, so I don't blame him. I think their policies are weird. That's it. I'm glad they're opening up.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll.
I would hope so.
The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
Oh, really?
We should be grateful for any aid.
Dollar Gill.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
Oh, great.
That will not be necessary.
Okay.
We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
Yeah.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgardsormr could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's Toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
I was about to say, like, that's a very aggressive tone to take with people from a nation.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander
like
of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am now. Why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's Toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
Yeah.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget, one born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders.
Do Elysian have long lives like elves in, like, Lord of the Rings? Like, even if it's not, like, thousands and thousands of years. Like, basically immortal through time. Do they have longer lifespans than normal humans? I would love to know, but I'm afraid to look anything up about this game. So I won't be Googling that for myself, but if anybody knows and wants to tell me, that'd be nice. Because he said they've been at it for centuries, and I'm like, okay, so does that mean that your nation has been at it for centuries, or this very same people have been at it for centuries? That's it.
But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light.
So
nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
True.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them. I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
You need to get a hold on that, boy.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart.
He respects it.
I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you.
Understandable.
On such occasions, my second in command will speak for me.
Okay.
Lucia, at your service.
Nice
Pray
to meet you.
Excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their
So
differences.
Ishgard has normal humans as well? I thought it was all elves.
Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Yeah.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely.
So she's
and so
the
may you.
Levi to his Erwin Smith.
Which reminds me, Lord Orchefort, if you would be so kind.
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Oh?
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Thank God for that. That would be bad.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Coerthas, assuming you're ready to speak of it.
Absolutely.
Excellent. I shall summon the others at once.
Yeah.
Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul.
I thought that was weird too. Let's talk
Master
about that,
Louisoir's writings
please.
make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
Yes.
As certain as we can be that good King Mogglmog XII was a primal, I should think.
Yeah.
Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a
True,
primal.
I did not even think about that. She did retain her own mind.
Can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What
Maybe it's
qualities
Maybelline.
this woman possesseth, I know not. But full sure am I that she was groomed for this role.
It's a heavy
Few are
accusation
privy
in
to
the
secrets
current
of
climate.
summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Uh-huh.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Seemed like a normal trial, yeah.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Okay.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
I love shitting in the
About
woods.
Iceheart's final words to you.
Yeah.
Hear, feel, think.
You wouldn't know about those words, yeah.
Hydaelyn speaks to her as well.
Yeah.
If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or
Probably.
could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth.
Very possible.
Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
That would be interesting.
Did not the
Like
Lady
her seeing
Iceheart
flashes back?
implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake?
Yeah.
And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Mm-hmm.
Midgard-Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well-founded.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Because Emmerich asked us to keep a look for the Keeper of the Lake, was the name, right? He asked us to look out for the Keeper of the Lake, and because they were worried Midgard-Zormr might return someday. And now she's telling me to seek Midgard-Zormr out for the truth, I guess. So I'm assuming that's actually gonna happen then. Like, we're actually gonna get to see Midgard-Zormr somehow, even though he's dead. Maybe he comes back as a primal or something. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm very interested, very curious to see what happens with this. It's a very interesting turn in the story.
It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For our mercy, we are well positioned to do so.
Perfect.
Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard-Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
Your guess is as good as mine. Chrane, Roe has escaped. After they took into custody, he'd been placed in dungeon cell for trial. Accommodations was not to her liking. Turnkey was found dead, slain with 2 guards. Plain she received inside help. Citizens report seeing Roy quit the CVI at the gate of Null with a bloodied spear in her hand. She makes her cast her Meridianum. Recoils just but flee to her Imperial masters. You speak Ilbird. Pre-make haste to Blue Camp Blue Fog. Okay. Gotta go then. Well, thanks for coming. Spoken to the soldiers here say Roy walked through the camp not a bell ago. Yeah, she walked right through. You don't know me here. Reborn, keep her secret. Thanks to you for that. She just walked through as a result. No single flame. The garrison attempted to detain her. Roy must not be allowed to reach the castrum. Go, 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 go. This wretch was with Roy. He threw himself at us that his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down, not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to Roan, the goddamned harpy. With me, Scion, we almost have her. She's fully geared for combat. Bind her and do it tight. Yes, sir. Good work, men. She and her Imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. It was very close. Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames, people looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see you fallen so low. What would you know of Lo, you a spoiled little lordling who has never known any want? People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think it your God's-given right to rule over others. You know naught of our plight, the injustice that we low-born Ishgardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we're not people, but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to do to survive, stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It is no fault of mine if fools imagined me a paragon when I joined the Flames. To hear you tell it, one would think you the only person ever to have suffered. In case you've forgotten, Reborn himself was born into poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth, with little more than the shirts on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. Yet never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortunes. We accepted the hand that we had been dealt and played it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, aye, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? 'Tis true that we were both mercenaries of lowly birth, and it's true that we both had our fair share of struggles, but whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades. If life has taught me one thing, it's that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. You will return to Ul'dah to face justice and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter.
I have heard. Truly bothersome business. No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Reborn. There is no telling what the brute might do.
Hey.
Have the Blades watch him and the Flames day and night.
Oh.
You may leave the Sultana to me.
He pays the Blades,
I shall personally
okay.
attend her grace.
Don't touch her. Never trust a child with a mustache. I've been saying it since the start. Damn Telegy.
Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
Man, this dude is evil.
Welcome back, my friend.
Oh.
I have already received word from Alfino.
Yeah.
To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent.
Huayu, okay.
I know not what to say. Together with Reborn,
I would never guess
lent us
that's
much needed aid at
to be
the
the
time of our
pronunciation.
order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat.
I'm sure she was.
When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters.
Nope, it ain't.
I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled.
Alright.
My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
Another PowerPoint.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with white auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether.
That we did.
Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
Okay.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Yeah.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Habrea.
During that encounter, Hydaelyn bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light.
Right.
A weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy.
Yeah.
Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether.
That would make sense, yeah.
Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our
If we had
world
had
and
a
void.
white Orosite then, I guess we could have destroyed
The
him.
fact remains, however, that Hydaelyn placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
True, especially since we haven't heard from her
Quite
since
so, my
then.
lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Hydaelyn did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it
That
seems
is all
to
well
me
and
that
good.
producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether.
Mhm.
Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had 2 pieces of white Orosite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try.
Hmm.
But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether
Right.
for any length of time.
Yeah.
We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
It's a good idea, though.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
Yeah.
Twould seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the Orosite. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Go on, dude. Go on.
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sand.
I'm sure she can work remotely.
Lady
Or you
Minfilia
could.
hath given me sole charge of the premises.
Mm.
'Twould be unseemly to leave
Yet
them
here you
unattended.
are.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
There you go. Compromises had to be made. I like her, she's fun.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland.
Oh?
You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val.
Yeah.
What they discovered was troubling, to say the least.
No island.
According to the report, the isle has been erased
Oh,
from
I was
existence.
kidding.
'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
That's worse than I thought. I didn't realize the island would be
Yet
gone.
the mystery endeth not with the isle's disappearance. It hath
Okay.
come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
Huh.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement. But I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God.
Oh,
We must pray that my dear friend Kryle regains
I don't remember
consciousness
his name.
soon.
Shit.
If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
That'd be great. Oh.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea.
It's a smart play.
So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
There is
Still
more.
can't believe that
We
pronunciation.
have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the media project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash.
So Solus was the one.
We believe a number of high-ranking figures
control
within the
during the
royal
media,
household
okay.
were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Yeah.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
I don't know.
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
That makes sense.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone.
Really? Okay.
In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the Calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Carlian army, now known as Emperor Varus Zos Galvus.
Oh.
So he was Huayu's true master.
She answered directly to the new Emperor. Damn.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea.
The
In so doing,
monetarists.
she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Of course she was.
Triple. If
Yeah.
you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear
Oh,
to
so
me.
it was Van Belsar, not the monetarists. Okay.
By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or monetarist
Oh, it was the
masters.
monetarists. Okay. My
Could it
bad.
be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
It's a bummer, dude.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
Yeah.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
Bye-bye, I say. Bye-bye. Poor Reborn.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune.
Yeah.
How could you, Wayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monitorous scum. Your crimes will not go unpunished.
Shit.
Today I will purge this land of your sickness before the eyes of the 12. I swear it.
He's mad. Is that a Moogle and a Chocobo?
I shall have no further need of you this day.
Get the fuck out.
Your Grace.
Lady in waiting. What is your job? I stand
fear
around.
That not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Damn, Nanamo. What are you up
Has
to?
the situation grown so grim?
What are you doing? Oh.
Ever since he proposed the Cardinal Reclamation Bill,
she's inviting her
Selechi
friends.
Adelechi has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees.
I thought she was going crazy, dude. Thought Nanamo was Breaking Bad. Like opening a Coke lab or something up here.
The monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
No, absolutely not. Oh, she's there too?
Bickering is a threat to law and order. Might you not have grounds to dissolve the syndicate?
So it's just girls' night. That's nice.
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents.
But is it not worth
This
it,
would
though?
serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right.
What
I
a
am to
shit
perform my
situation.
duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
You have your
A
head in
ruler
the
is required
clouds.
to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As
Yeah.
such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Ul'dah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Better not.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
The true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Uldar to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends,
Is that a good
it
idea?
was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here.
Oh, so you don't want to hang out with
When I
us?
make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue.
I don't know if this is a good idea.
As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Reborn to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Uldar.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
I don't think this is
There
the
is
right
no
move.
other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Uldar will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people.
I don't think it'll be that different, to be honest with you.
Reborn, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
Man, what a bummer of a cutscene.